Hey guys, the second game in Super Rugby Aotearoa this weekend is the Chiefs versus the Crusaders. There's always a lot of history when these two sides meet. They are third, the Chiefs versus the Crusaders, who's always first, and they're also the current champions of the competition. But it's still a big game when you do look at the two seasons so far for the teams. The Chiefs, they are 3 from 5 so far this season. They had that 2 losses and then 3 wins in a row, getting one over the Hurricanes. The Blues then had a bye and then beating the Highlanders last week by 3 points, thanks to Damien McKenzie with that long range penalty. We didn't even know he has long range penalties in him. The Crusaders, 5 from 6 so far this season. They are back to winning ways after losing to the Highlanders 2 weeks ago. Last week, they beat the Hurricanes also by 3 points. Last week, 2 games of golden point, 2 games with golden point time. I don't know how to say it completely right. But then Havili stepped up, got that drop goal, and well, he was just the hero of the Crusaders then. The history shows the Chiefs tend to only beat the Crusaders when they are at home, or recent history at least. When you do look at the two teams, the Crusaders, they made a lot of changes for a game that could be quite big for them. The Chiefs obviously not making too many changes, a couple of enforced changes for them there. Up front, Aiden Ross, Taki Hao, and then Ta'avao, the front row for the Chiefs, a strong front row that's been scrumming really well. Up against the Crusaders front row, who is weakened a little bit. Moody, he is injured, might be a big injury for them there. There is a lot of New Zealand big names injured at this stage. Like they said, this competition is quite grueling on the body for these players. McAllister comes in at number 2 for Taylor, dropping to the bench. Taylor probably being rested for a bit. And then Michael Alatoa, he's at number 3, getting a start this week. They need more experience there as well. We also heard, I think a week ago, that he is going to Leinster in Ireland soon. Then there's also a new second row with Dunshire and Strange. That's a good combination actually. They've been the two guys that's always stepping in when a guy like Barrett and Whitelock is not around. They can do it and they have done it. Vai and Arkoi, the two youngsters that's been brilliant so far this year, especially Vai with those one-handed offloads. Arkoi, he can do the same thing as well, but he's a very hard runner off the ball. Scott Barrett moves from number 4 to number 6. We haven't seen him play flanker this year so far. Mitchell Brown at number 6. Big name that comes back at number 7 for the Chiefs is Boshia. They must be very glad to welcome him back after having that injury to Sam Cane. It is a welcome return to one of their big names as well. Tom Sanders at number 7 for the Crusaders. He was also in good form earlier this year, just like Ethan Blackadder, who was also in good form at the number 6 jersey earlier this year. Luke Jacobson at number 8 continues for the Chiefs. At number 9, a guy that gets his 100th game this week around, Drummond for the Crusaders. Big game for him. Well done to him. Brad Weber at number 9 for the Chiefs as well. He's been brilliant so far as well, especially after taking over the sole captaincy role as well. Damon McKenzie being shifted from number 15 to number 10. I'm very happy about this because I've been saying I want to see Damien McKenzie and Chase Tiatia doing that combo of number 10 and 15. It looks like it can work because it's been done a couple of times at the end of a game. They do have a formidable task though, going up against Richie Mahunga and Will Jordan. It's a big task ahead. Damien McKenzie and Richie Mahunga, both of them guys that like attacking their line when they are at number 10. Both of them good steppers of the ball as well. Mahunga, he's a bit of a better distributor of the ball as well. Damien McKenzie does tend to play more of a 15 role when he does play at number 10. Hopefully he does distribute the ball quite well. David Avili, talked about him earlier with that drop goal to win the game last week for them. Up against Nankivell, who comes in at number 12. Unfortunately, Tupaya isn't playing this week. He's been impressive so far in this last couple of weeks. So Nankivell, he has big shoes to fill. Leonard Brown at number 13 will want to prove what he can do with Goodyear now being injured for the Crusaders. He's going to be the guy that they're going to look at for the All Blacks at number 13. Fahinga Anuku at number 13 as well for the Crusaders. Interesting call. Quick guy. He plays mostly on the wing. Big guy as well. So let's see how he does this week on number 13. Out wide, there's a lot of talent with Sevu Reece, George Bridge, those guys are prolific try scorers. George Bridge getting a couple as well last week, and he just returned from his big injury. Nana Satoru, the hot stepper. Jonah Lowe, also a guy to always look out for. Will Jordan at number 15. He scores points for a living. If you do play fantasy, join that and pick him in your side. He gets you points every week around. Ask me. Chase Tiatia at number 15. I also want to see how many points he racks up this weekend. On the bench, it is mostly a changed bench for the Crusaders as well. You would expect that after they changed their whole starting team. So most of those starters are on the bench this week. The Chiefs, they have a couple of changes as well. Nathan Harris, Norris, and Mafaleo being the front row replacement for them there. They are up against Cody Taylor, who can end a game very strongly when he does get the chance. Mostly he starts games, but the odd chance when he does get a game from the sub, he usually ends up scoring a try. Then it is Tuunga Fasi and Oliver Jaeger getting a bit of a game time as well from the bench. Soakula, he is listed as number 19, so wonder if he's going to be playing as a lock in this game, or are they going to shift around a little bit. Romano, the veteran, at number 19 for the Crusaders. Havili Talatui and Bashir coming on at number 20. Bryn Hall, always a great number 9 to bring on for the team. So is Tuuria Orangi for the Chiefs. Bryn Gatlin getting a bit of game time as well. Want to see what he does when he does come on for the Chiefs, because he hasn't gotten a lot of game time with this team. A guy that I am very happy is getting a bit of game time for the Crusaders is Matiele. We haven't seen him play much since that amazing offload. I think it's a couple of seasons ago now, where he was upside down and passed it in to the field and got it back into Muhunga's hands, and they scored a brilliant try from that. So good to see him back there as well. Guys, to make a prediction here, I think the Chiefs are going to push the Crusaders in this one. Do I think they're going to push them to actually get a win? No, I do not think so. I do think the Crusaders got enough scares now in a row to actually get a win. But the thing is, if you do look at that starting team, it is not their preferred starting team. They made a lot of changes to a side that would probably want to win this game. I think the Crusaders to win this one by 7 points. Let me know your prediction down in the comments below. Also, check out these videos next to me. Hit the subscribe button if you do like the channel, and then I'll see you for the next one. Cheers.